Welcome to the How Aston Villa Won podcast. Well, hello and welcome to this, the third episode of the How Aston Villa Won podcast. And this is where the sensational season begins. I'm your host. My name is Martin and I'm joined by...
Oh, that's me, isn't it? Yeah. Hello. Yep.
Do you say your name, maybe?
Sorry. That's my name. And Villa is my game. And I'm here to review this wonderful season, starting off at dirty Leeds. Horrible Leeds. Anyway, before that, how have you been, mate? How have you been? Good week?
Well, I mean, not to go into specifics, but work was busy. Only schools can. Yeah, not complaining. People don't get that. So I appreciate and respect that. But it doesn't mean it doesn't get hard. Do you know what I mean?
No, it doesn't, mate. I'm in the same boat. Yeah. I mean, I'm in wind down mode, mate. I mean, I'm normally in wind down mode from probably September, pretty much. I'll try a couple of weeks, I'll give it a go, and then I'm just like, I'm done. But first anecdote of the pod, sports day.
Go on.
It was a bit of a weird one because of weather, and obviously I don't know whether the heat has affected your sports days or whatever, but it was a bit of a mad one. And obviously with COVID, it's a lot of the year sevens, it's their first time on sports day. And I genuinely had a question as I was explaining the 800 meters, because I was the starter and I was explaining the lane breaks and how many laps around the track and all that sort of stuff. And one kid put his hand up and I was like, yep. And he genuinely asked, "Sir, are we allowed to overtake?"
So sorry, mate. Are you normally what? Go-kart?
So I think his idea was that you have you have your starting order, obviously, and then everyone just goes around at the exact same speed. So they finish. If we'd done the lanes properly, then everyone finishes at the same time. But I think, I just told him, yes, you are allowed to overtake. No apologies necessary. Let's get on with the 800 meters.
Do you know who to blame? Joe's to blame. A sports day before they have in primary school, where everyone gets to take part, medal type vibe. Right, don't overtake.
That's your problem. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So
talking of behind, no, that's not right. There is only one winner, and it leads us lovely onto the 1980-81 season, where there was only one winner, and it was us.
I like that,
and it was us.
You go back round. You've started us off with a bit
Abraham Lincoln
yourself. Yeah, sweet. So,
go on then.
1980. So it's Saturday, the 16th of August, 1980. Way to Leeds. There is an attendance of 23,401 spectators. So, perspective of where we were and what we might have been thinking in the build-up to this game. Previous season, 11th, and before that, 5th, and before that, 9th. Whereas we'd finished 7th, 8th, and 8th. So although we've had more consistency, more recent highs, plus, as we know, not too long before that, we know they were competing up there at the top in the 70s.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. They had that time.
I mean, the 70s, the Leeds 70s team was legendary, like dirty Leeds.
Well, this is it.
I remember.
I mean, you mentioned Damned United last time, and have I?
We did.
I'm here.
We did. Yeah. I think so.
We did.
If not, we have now.
Last time, actually, I happened to catch a bit of a clip online where it was Brian Clough and Don Revett barely hiding their disdain for each other, and it's where Clough is saying, top of the league in terms of to arguing, going back to Coffey's time at Leeds. He's like, well, I want to do better than you. I want to win the league better than you. Like, you can't. We lost 4 games.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to lose 3 games then. So
yeah.
That's the truth of it. But, so that they had that spotlight on them. And this is what I said before. And this is the big difference about football at this time to where we are now, where people have their time. The only 6 have their moment and something's changed. Besides the fact that Man City are dominating now. And rumours are they've just bought another club in their City lineup. But ultimately, teams had their moment at this point. Their manager was Jimmy Anderson, and spoilers, he wasn't going to last long. He would get sacked in the September. So that tells you a little bit about how their season starts off.
From a fan's perspective, I mean, Leeds away, first up, you're buzzing. Especially, as we'll see the footage, it's an absolute scorcher of a day as well. But yeah, I mean, first day of the season, everyone's naturally going to be proper well up for the season. And in typical Villa fashion, 2 minutes in, dodgy pen. I mean...
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Let's get the knife and fork out. Let's dissect it straight away. Let's go into it. I mean, I'm watching it now. So you're there. You've had your chicken balti pie or whatever it is. You've had your pint. You go on the terraces. You see the teams, and you've barely even found your seat. You look up, and Leeds have been given a pen, and I'm going to say it's dodgy. Let's have a look. So
it's clumsy. It's clumsy. So again, just give some context for those that maybe haven't watched the clip. And you can buy the DVD of the season review of 1980 to 1981. The clips are also available on YouTube, thanks to Villa. You have a strong team, but there is a change. So you've got Rimmer in the sticks, Swain, Williams, McNaught, and DC. So DC's coming in. Evans is injured. So Williams is at centre back, and DC comes in at left back. Bremner, Cowans, Mortimer, and Morley, Shaw, and With. So again, remember, With is that final piece of the jigsaw. We've got a bit of competition, but imagine Eamon DC. You're there, you're not really a regular. You come and start, and it's a first game, new season. The gaffer's like, yeah, if we beat Liverpool, if we get more than 60 points, we're doing all right. This is the year, and you give away.
I was going to say, is it him that gives it away?
A bit harsh.
Villa number 3. So it's got caught the wrong side. It's the standard. You get your body in front of the defender, in between you and the defender and the ball, and any sort of contact, and he's down. And I suppose in 2022, VAR, they're not even looking at that. It's they're not even going to lose sweat over that. But in the 80s, you want a bit more of a physical challenge for it to be given a pen there. But anyway, gives it away. Villa kick off.
Kick off.
Leeds fans going mental.
Typical.
And he slots it. Jimmy Rimmer. Slots it bottom right. Jimmy Rimmer dives out the way. And then we come to our goal, don't we?
Yeah. Well, and it's a good goal. It's a good team goal. And so, this is the Morley one. So 44 minutes in.
The footage I'm seeing.
In from the right is
so he jinks in from the right hand side of the box, jinks into the left hand on his left foot, level with the D, pretty much just the right hand side of the D. And then, I mean, I'm trying to think of modern players. So modern Villa players with their left foot, you're thinking straight away Hitzlsperger. Anytime that he had the ball anywhere within 30 yards on his left foot, you just knew that it was either going to be a hell of an effort, a goal, or at least he's going to work the keeper. And it's left foot, low to the bottom corner. He hits it so well. It's an absolute blinding effort. Keeper bit unsighted. It really is. But it's it's a really good goal. It's going to the behind the defender. Keeper do better, maybe.
You see at moments in this Villa team. And again,
He's coming from the right of his left foot.
You think that's a modern part of the game, really? That choice of being on the opposite flank, and here Villa doing
Side to side.
which is what gives you the chance. So Morley puts that away, which means that you're going to half time feeling a bit better about yourself. It's one apiece. You're thinking, okay, a bit fun, a goal to solidify that position, and we come back out. We give it. It's about 14 minutes into the second half, and we get goal number.
Right, I'll take it from here. I mean, this is what Maradona 86 could have been. Okay, this is how good a goal this is. Morley picks it up. He evades a leg-breaking tackle. Like, I don't know who this player is. I'm trying to track his number now. But it's standard Leeds. He's just come in and he's just trying to take out... it's not Morley. He's trying to absolutely take out our Villa player, knee high. Okay? Coming out to Morley on the right-hand side, who just does the old shimmy past one, then... I'll sort of call it a banana run where he sort of hits it past one side of the defender and then runs around the other side. Only, of course, he gets absolutely nobbled because the Leeds defenders absolutely smashed him. Fortunately, as the ball's running towards the... Yeah, he was, yeah. Fortunately, as the ball's running towards the byline, Mortimer managed just to take it on. Keeper, well, questionable decision-making. I mean, I don't know what he's trying to achieve by coming out to him, but he's left his goal line. He's come out to the ball, trying to narrow the angle down, at least stop the cross. He's done neither. Mortimer crossed it across. Peter With has an absolute tap in, and he shanks and bigfoots it. And fortunately, Super Gary Shaw, first time finish into an empty net. Boom, wheel off to the away end. Absolute limbs. Job done. First day of the season, you're going home, back down the M1, absolutely buzzing.
Yeah, because that's a long old jaunt. And if you're not come back with, well, at that point, 2 points.
That's the thing. That shows our age, doesn't it? Because when I saw the league table, I was, I had to remind myself, of course, it was 2 points back then. It was 2 points for a win.
Yeah.
And was it Jimmy Hill that changed that? And that might become some completely random knowledge, but I've got a funny feeling Jimmy Hill, Fagan from Oliver Twist. I swear that he was the one that changed it to 3 points for a win, which is what we've grown up with pretty much since. That's what we normally used to.
I mean, it'd be interesting. I mean, if anyone knows, tweet us, contact us on social media, let us know. We could probably Google it ourselves, but we could,
but we are up against it.
It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting if someone, I bet someone's done this, has gone back and actually changed the league table. I mean, it may have cost us this league, so I'm not going to overly think about it, but it'd be interesting.
Yeah, it might be.
It might not be. It's kind of redundant. So,
but best not do that. I don't want to take away our only league title for the last 100 years or so. So we best leave it as is, I think.
Yeah.
Don't bother with that.
Ignorance. So we get to the point then when so for opening game of the season, we've got a win, 2-1. And if you follow Villa Boy on YouTube and go through the playlist of the 1980 to 1981 season, the interview. Now, I'm presuming this is sort of in order of chronology. And cover the second game. There's an interview with some Villa players. Mortimer comes out speaking to the media, and he's backing With to make an impact. He's a striker, a goal getter, a poacher in the way they haven't had since Andy Gray 2 years before. So this is what I think Saunders was referring to when he said he was because you weren't having that goal scorer besides from Shaw, but of course you want two up front and you want them to complement one another. With himself talks to camera, and he win now. He said, obviously he's come from winning a league title at Notts Forest. He's come via Newcastle. He had to pick a club, gone to Everton, a place like that. He's chosen to come to Villa because he believed he'd fit in well. And we're talking, this is a 29-year-old With. This is often retire earlier, or they certainly start going down the leagues once they get to their 30s. So he's thinking, well, I've got one move in me. You think about like same age. I want to come somewhere I can do something now, and he's coming in, believing that he can make a difference with the amount of goals he scored at least one season and in the European Cup run. Ron Saunders also comes on, and he talks about the ability of his team and the running, the fact that the team are, and we know this is Joe Sargent. So the team can run and run; they're really fit. So you can, which is why I guess. And talks about the fact that they run more than anyone else, but they're actually quite, of a high standard. They've got good abilities, and he said any in that league. So confidence is there, certainly from the manager at this point, and with someone coming in experienced, clearly between two of them, and those strong boys at the back in McNaught and Evans, you've got a lot of solidity, more from the middle, and those flair players can flourish, and it leads the season to become what it's going to become.
It's with the caveat though that it's the first day of the season, and I remember vividly Bournemouth away, thinking that, oh my God, we are Europe minimum. We are top 6 minimum. Coming back from Bournemouth away, and it was that was the year when we didn't win again for about 7 months. So first day of the season, it's a weird one for fans because they get so excited, and it's almost like they put so much. There's so much riding on it because it's the first game for ages, and a lot of people can overreact after that final, that scoreline, whatever it might be. But we go on I'd say a nice little run, don't we? So the next game's it's not Norwich
bad.
at home.
We're unbeaten. Yeah, we're unbeaten for a little while. So next game is Norwich. Wednesday, the 20th of August in 1980, with an attendance of 25,970. So again, you've got small numbers. Now, it's funny. I can't recall if it was in the interview. We're talking about the amount of fans turning up to games, and they're questioning the quality of the football in the English league and saying, is that why people are turning away? Or is it the violence? Because, of course, in the 80s, it's like to have a ban on English fans and English teams. So that's all interesting. But
I mean, just on that, I think as well the economic situation that the country was in. I think this is mid Thatcher right now, so sort of various different social groups were being not to get too political, but were being castigated and were being sort of took advantage of, and genuinely people wouldn't have that disposable income to go to Villa Park every other week. So that 25,000 or so, they'll be on to they probably didn't know at this stage just how much of a good season they were onto, but surely those numbers as we go on to the season are going to get bigger and bigger. But this is, like I say, one of the first of the few games on that Villa Boy review on YouTube. There is no footage whatsoever, so we are punching in the dark here. All we've got here is Aston Villa 1, Norwich City 0, Shaw 76, and there's a newspaper cutting that comes up, which I'll just try and pause it. Shooting star Gary is spot on for Villa. So I'm guessing it was a pen. Was it a pen? 20 yard? No.
Well, actually, if I may jump in at this point, if you're done lecturing us, teacher. Evans comes back into the squad. DC dropping out. Like you say, it's 0-0 at half time. 76th minute. It's a short from Morley. So that's the information I've got. So not a penalty, but it's Morley bringing it in for sure to score. Norwich are a real yo-yo club at this time. Again, the former team of manager Ron Saunders. Then he got final in 75. We beat them 1-0 then as well. And they were, if we were a bit of a mid-table, finishing 7th and 8th, they'd finished 12th, 16th, and 13th in the years in the build up to this. So low middles. So a bit of a nothing game, 1 goal in it, and we move on. The third game is another away fixture. It's Man City at the Old Stadium Main Road with a attendance of 30,017. So, and again, unchanged lineup and no subs were used because typical Saunders. And we squared up against Man City, who had a decent run themselves. Back in as manager, returning in 79 after he'd previously been there for a successful run, and he'd won 9 and won the League Cup in 1970. So they'd finished 4th and 2nd in previous years. So they'd finished 17th the year before. So you're talking more at relegation contenders actually. So thinking, okay, they have had some good years previously. Successful managers come back, but it's not the magic hasn't necessarily come back. And it's funny, it does feel like a very typical Villa result, and certainly the way it goes down.
Like like I say, I mean, we're blessed with a lot of the footage of this season, but especially in the early part of the season, there is a severe lack of it. It's not like season reviews nowadays where every single game, even pre-season games, are on there. It's not like that. Yeah. All I'm seeing here is the date, the score, the scorers, and the times of the scores. And Man City 2, Villa 2, and Villa were 2-0 up with 15 minutes to go. Where have we heard that before, Martin? Where have we seen that before? Being 2-0 up at Man City with 15 minutes to go, and thankfully they've not had a complete. True. Thankfully, they've not had a complete meltdown this time. They've not gone full on Pep and gone. Here's the league title, mate. Go on. But still,
it is kind of
you've got to be disappointed with that. You're like any level of football.
Yeah. It's in your hands.
Any level of football, 2-0 up, 15 minutes to go. You're taking home the 3 points. You have to.
Well, especially
but by the looks of it,
Dennis Stewart, who are aspiring to chase up the league.
Yeah.
It's going to make a difference. So you've got Peter With on the 90th minute scoring. He scores again on the 77th minute. So where there's back and forth about the either end of the game, we're scoring. You score the 75th minute, you think, right, okay, we're 2-0 up now. We're going to see this through. 83rd minute, there's a put away by Dennis Treart, I think that says. And the 88th
minute. Now, I always thought he was called. Dennis Stewart, and it was one of them weird names, but it's not. It's Dennis and then Stewart. It's weird.
Stewart. Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's a random one. Yeah, Dennis Stewart.
You really are a teacher, aren't you?
I know. Yeah, you have to.
Physical discourse, correcting my pronunciations. What's next, mate? You're going to teach you some maths. You want to say 3 points, for when it's 2 points.
Very good point, yeah. And that's the thing. I suppose in 1980, a dropped point like then probably wouldn't have felt as bad as it does today. Because obviously that dropped to that extra point for a win, having that in your hands, 3 points in your hands, and then you're throwing away 2 of them as opposed to throwing away 1. Because there's that old adage, isn't there? Like you win your home games, you draw your away games, and you'll be absolutely fine. You'll be there or thereabouts. As a famous Steve Bruce.
It adds up.
Yeah.
Oh, good old Steve Bruce. But playing it safe, but comfortable, and that's proper Bruce, isn't it? Change. Well, you've got to go all out because you want 3 points, because that makes a significant difference, and that's, I suppose, part of the reason why they changed it from being 2, where it's not as significant. You win, you get 3 points. All of a sudden, that can really shift you in the league table. So I think that's again one of those choices that they make that you think, yeah, okay, I'm down with that. Sure, but things like 3 points, okay, makes it more competitive in the league, I think, because it's worth fighting for every point.
I think you got a point there. I think it's definitely improved it. Go on. This is the last one we're looking at.
It's the last one we're going to look at this week. It was a League Cup fixture, second round, and again against. It was played on Wednesday, the 27th of August. We had an attendance of 23,622. Midweek fixture, not particularly getting any more bums in. A fairly typical amount of fans there. Same starting lineup, and we score in the first half with Tony Morley. 20 teams. So, if we're being positive, we're 3 games into the league, 4 games in total for the season. We can attest the fact that.
You're gone again. It's still in the cup as well. Which, like, that was that's a bugbear of mine. Like, especially for the previous sort of 5, well, pretty much forever, really, as a Villa fan. Like, we've not it's very rare that we've took the League Cup, seriously. Yes, there's got to be a bit of squad rotation, but it's as we've seen a couple of years ago when we've had one of our worst teams in the Premier League era almost went down. We still got to a final. It's possible. So, in short, to go pretty much unbeaten and still in the cup, you're saying that's a very successful first month. Yes, you look at the City game and you're thinking we've dropped a point there and we should really have took a win there. But if that was offered at the start of the league campaign, I don't think Ron Saunders would have said no to that.
No, I think you definitely take it. And to go back to we won the League Cup in 75. We won it in 77. And then we've gone to win the actual league title in 1980. There's kind of this feeling of it's hard to maintain that momentum and to plug away on both fronts every year. So this is the year where obviously we prioritise the league, whereas before maybe we prioritised cups. I don't get that impression. So to review then the league table at this point, top of the table was Tottenham Hotspur. They'd won 2 and drawn. So they had 5 points. Now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 teams on 5 points. So, Putch teams had a strong start. Ipswich are behind them, also with 5 points. So Southampton. And then it's us in 1, 2 and drawn 1. The difference being the goal difference. Now, Tottenham, Ipswich and Southampton have all got 3, goal difference of 3 rather. And we've got a goal difference of 2. So that's the difference there. After that, then it starts to deplete. I've got your teams there, but it's not worth mentioning. But it's interesting. You've got Tottenham up there, Ipswich, who will go on to feature again and again because we know they finished second. They compete with us in the league. Below us, though, are Sunderland, then Man United, then Birmingham City in 7th, and Liverpool are in 8th at this point against early days. But just for context, it's interesting information.
It is because Liverpool, you're expecting, and again, I'm not sure what fixtures they had, but you're expecting straight away your Liverpools to be right up there, to be. Special. I mean, this is like early 80s, that dominance, right in the middle of that period of dominance where they would just be pretty much steamrolling opposition, just win after win, just grafting wins out. Can I just ask who is at the bottom, who is struggling, who has started off with all that optimism that I had at the beginning of the pod, and then straight away they've had a Bournemouth moment and they've gone, okay, we've won the first game, boom, and then they're not going to win again for the next few months. Who's looking at the barrel thinking, oh God?
Okay, so what I'm going to say here is, listeners, can you just put fingers in your ears, not listen? Okay, I just have a private conversation. Mate, right? You can't go and ask me for information when we're on the pod.
Oh.
We've not talked about before because all I've done really is look at the top half of the table where we are.
Right.
I've not copied out the whole league table. I can get the information on the phone. The problem is, I'll take it. So now I look at numpty because I can't just get this information.
You don't look at numpty. You've really tried today. I think you've done really well. Just it's not bad. Not well enough. I thought it was there for you. I thought it was there. Should we make it up? Should we just Yeovil Town? They've started off and they've lost all 3 games 10-0. So Yeovil are doomed.
Great. I tell you what. Let's end up. Let's this positive podcast. Let's end
Go on.
on something. At the end of the episodes, we reference something that's going on at the moment. AF.
Yep.
We have just
Yes.
heard that we're having two one of which is about the ground and the changes they're going to make up to the North Stand. The other one is about the badge. Where do you stand?
I've got fairly strong feelings about one aspect of the badge, and that is the
Right.
star. I think when the star was introduced, a lot of people got giddy because it was Randy Lerner that introduced it, and a lot of people thought, yes, that's a really nice touch, and it is. It is commemorating obviously what we're looking at over the next 2 years. You know, the league season, the European campaign.
Yeah.
But the problem I have with it is that if you embed it in the crest, it's very technical, then you're almost limiting. You're almost limiting and saying that, okay, well, we're not going to win that again because it's part of the actual fabric. Whereas if you look at how Nottingham Forest have done it, where the star is actually above or below the crest, then the crest stays the same, and then you just add up all the stars as and when. In terms of its design, I'm a fan of the classical classical design as it was for this season. Incidentally enough, the circle badge, the full name Aston Villa, I think, because it's such a unique name, it has to be on the crest. Okay, so the full name Aston Villa. Not too fussed about the word prepared. That doesn't really bother me at all. But Aston Villa Football Club or Aston Villa FC. Colour of the lion, either claret or golden. Sky blue background. Yeah, boom. Simplicity is everything.
So I think this. You want to go something. They literally said what you said, which is, harking back to our 40th anniversary, thinking back on our past glories, we want to refresh and renew our badge. As in, think back to the 80s when we won the league, when we had a round badge. You know, one of the past moving forward. So again, referencing the star, but not being tied down to it, so you might not bother with the prepared. I feel, and celebrating our. So again, they want the full name in there. It's very clear what route they want to go down. They've tried to influence it. I'm not against it, and I can see the strings. I think I'm with you. Historically, I've always liked the circular badge, but you described it as being classical. So really over that 70s and 80s period. Before then, it was a shield, a bit more elaborate, like the AST kits, where AST we had the old shield and the new shield inside. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying I'm mad. Talking classic, going back, really retro. It's a shield. Now, the other thing is, a lot of people pointed out, a lot of modern day rebranded badges
have a circle. Yes, they might do. They might do.
Recreation.
But not all of them are called Aston Villa.
Same as everyone else then. Man City have done it. Solihull Moors have just changed and wiped out their history and just put the Griffin in there. There's a lot of clubs that have done similar. So it's nice enough. It goes back to something we've done before, but it makes it look very like Chelsea.
Yeah.
For example,
I've seen one or two, and I've seen one or two others as well. There's some out there designs, and some of them look splendid. I mean, again, all of it is subjective. Everyone's got their own opinion about it. Personally, the one I'm looking at right now, a variation of that, and that's the one obviously that they wore at 80-81, but a variation of that would suit me fine. The one final thing I would say, what they've recently done, and I know that Luke did this, or the first to do this, and it sort of carried on as well with Kappa. The actual badge on the kit, I do love the way that they've put it in that rubber kind of that
molded rubber.
Yeah, the mold. That's the one. The mold rubber. I mean, I first saw that on the England Rugby Union shirt, and I thought, "Oh, that's interesting." I'm not sure if I like that. And over time, I've grown to love it. I think that type of thing looks.
I think either
really
through Fanatics, either through Fanatics or as a team, we've said we want it because the new Castor kits have got
badge as well. So clearly,
Yeah.
we think
makes the badge stand out separately, and also avoids any irritation, and you can't get threading and so on from the issues from the kit. So
Yes,
that will
exactly.
probably maintain. But I imagine they're looking at it for next year to a brand new badge. As I say, it's a shame that a lot of clubs have done similar now, so it feels like you're just aping them rather than doing your own thing or going back, harkening back. I know they do loads of public
badge back to the good times.
I think the Golden Lion to stand out would be good, and I think try and look different, that little bit different to 1982, 1980s, well, yeah, 70s and 80s badge to distinguish it rather than the claret lion. I think incorporating that little bit of gold or yellow so it pops against the rest of the kit, because otherwise you've got a claret blue badge and a claret blue kit.
I think having the gold
helps you just to lift away from the rest of the kit. Yeah, happy to have circular.
Yeah, I like simplicity.
Meh.
One.
You're more shield than more.
Yeah,
circular.
the full name is nice.
Did you see that there was one on Twitter, and I can't remember the Twitter handle, so apologies, but there was one which was almost like a diamond, and it sort of made that kind of that attraction of that symmetrical, the A and V, sort of A on top of the V, and made a play on that. And initially it looked a bit like Art Deco, and I thought, oh, that is very unique, very interesting. Just not, I mean, yeah, it just looked a bit not for me. Like I say, I've got a classical.
Yeah, it's too much of a departure. Yeah, you want something that's with grand. Okay, no.
Other consultation. Other consultation.
Yeah, true.
So
online to request to be part of the consultation, and they pick from there. I don't know if it's at random or if they're looking for particular people, but for both badge, you can sign up to the website or what have you. So you can Google it or go to the app, and you can register your interest in being part of the consultation. And I presume you'll probably get a bit of a questionnaire, survey, and you can have your say.
Happy days.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Happy days.
Right then, mate. Current
unbeaten, still in the league.
Cup. So positive, if unspectacular start. And next week we'll go to next few games.
To that
run of games, a blip. So the next run of games, I'm calling a blip. So
bit of a force. Just quickly, who's your player of the month for August so far? I mean, for me, I think the choice is clear. I think it is Tony Morley for that Maradona 86 moment. His goals against Norwich, and obviously the opening day goal against Leeds. Would you disagree? Would you have anyone else in there, Gary Shaw or With, for example?
I'm with you. I mean, with Shaw and Morley, all score a couple of goals each. I think the only difference is Morley's the midfielder.
Yeah.
As you've seen, Shaw's getting
tap-ins, what's being fed to him. So I think for the work rate and producing it, I've got to go for Morley as well.
Happy days, mate. So player of the month for August, Tony Morley.
Tony Morley. Love it, mate. That's a nice touch. Yeah. Right, we'll leave it there. We'll pick up next week, mate, and we'll do things might go a bit downhill, but hey, it's only going to make it sweeter when we come back up. Right, it's been great to chat to you, mate. We'll leave it there.
Pleasure, mate. Pleasure. And I'll see you next time.
Love it. See you.
You have been listening to the How Aston Villa Won podcast. Remember to subscribe and follow us on Twitter and Instagram.